God is working in Nicaragua. The ministry of Jason and Tammy Rogers. The Rogers moved to Nicaragua about 13 years ago. It is in Central America between Honduras and Costa Rica. Most of the people live in the western part of the country. The Rogers ministry is located south of Managua in the mountains. Nicaragua is a beautiful country full of lakes and volcanoes. Many of the people are farmers, and there is much fertile land. Transportation includes walking, biking, horse and oxen-drawn carts, motos, cars, and buses. Houses are made of assorted materials, but mostly wood, cinder blocks, and corrugated metal. In Diriamba and the Jinotepa area, there are about 70,000 people. One of the landmarks of Diriamba is the town clock in the middle of town. It never has the right time. The Rogers established a mission in Diriamba several years ago. It was established as a mission, but 3 years ago it was established as a church. Now it has several mission works. We flew into Managua with all the items that were donated by our church. We also took some printed Sunday school materials that the missionaries needed. Tammy set up extra tables in the dining room area to help organize and make Sunday school materials. She is the wife of Jason Rogers. Carol Elkins, shown here, came to help them about 3 years ago. She helps with the children's ministries and the preparation of materials. Also helping is Kelly Turnbow. She is the Rogers niece who surrendered to the mission field a few years ago. She helps with the children's ministries and the teen girls Bible study. They were all thrilled with the small toys, stickers, pencils, and other items which will be used to motivate the children to learn their Bible verses. Thanks to the generous donations of Southview Baptist Church, there was a whole suitcase full of items. There were even notepads that would be just perfect for Mother's Day. While we were organizing the Sunday school materials, Doug and Pastor Jason went to the Bible Institute. It was Pastor Jason's birthday, and we surprised him with a cake. All the people of the Institute had given money for the cake and Pepsi. Afterwards, they all got back to their studies. The Bible Institute is at Iglesia Bautista Gracia de Dios Grace Baptist Church in Diriamba. Jason and Tammy Rogers have been serving this area for 13 years. It was their first church plant and their main work. Assistant Pastor Ramon is currently directing this work and doing a great job. The people are putting more and more confidence in him and his leadership. He was recently ordained into the gospel ministry. The church has had many converts, and each one is baptized soon after his or her salvation. The church also offers many children's activities, Sunday school, and special events, and more Sunday school. The Bible Institute meets on Saturday afternoon. Men's prayer meeting is held right after that. There is also an active visitation program. On Thursdays evenings, there's a leadership class for both men and women. The leaders of all the mission works are trained here. Until recently, the girls from the Emmanuel home have been attending the church in Diriamba. This children's home is for young girls who have been sexually abused, and they hope to expand the ministry to work with young mothers in need of education and daycare. The Brassfields are missionaries sent out by the Baptist Medical and Dental Mission International Organization. They provide a loving and safe environment where these young ladies receive spiritual, emotional, and psychological support, education, pre-vocational training, food, clothing, and shelter. These young ladies may or may not have family, but have been placed in their care because of their need for special protection. Since there are 50 girls in the Brassfield family, the Rogers will be starting a service at their home. Here are the girls singing a church special at the church in Diriamba. Pastor Guillermo Chepi was ordained and now leads the mission in Bagazal. Iglesia Bautista Missionaria is his church there, Missionary Baptist Church. The work is under his leadership after he had been Pastor Jason's assistant for many years. His greatest passion is to win souls, and many have come to know Christ as their personal Savior through his ministry. Pastor Chepi and his family live right behind the church in Diriamba in the house that Chepi built. He has 3 sons, and his wife's sister lives with them also. Pastor Chepi's work began in Bagazal because he started going from door to door down the dirt roads of the village. Bagazal means the trash that is left over after all the sugar has been squeezed out of a piece of sugar cane. The main church found a piece of property that is situated between Bagazal 1 and Bagazal 2. It is on one of the main roads and has recently been cobblestone. Pastor Guillermo Chepi worked on all of the construction in Bagazal. The church service there is at 4 o'clock on Sundays. There is also a Sunday school class there, and it meets in the little house that was built. On Saturday afternoons from 3 to 4, Kelly Turnbow leads a Bible study for girls 12 and up. They were discussing purity the day that I visited. On Tuesdays, there's a Bible club from 12 to 2. The kids get a meal that is prepared at the Diriamba Church and then brought over. After their lunch, they have a time of singing, memory verses, Bible stories, and activities to complete. Pastor Chepi has 2 sons, shown here, Kevin and Joshua. His other son, Guillermito, was still at school. The church at Bagazal has a primitive bathroom, but it is nicer than many people have. Our missionary explains to Doug how there are plans to double the size of the church by extending the cement and the roof all the way over to the other side of the property. A cement wall will have to be built on the far side of the property first. There's a new mission work in El Bosque. It is right past the city dump down a dirt road with deep ruts. There is a rural work that is under the leadership of one of the men, is Rami Perales, nicknamed Junior, and his wife Johanna. It is a small village out in a farming community, and they are holding services and discipleship classes for the people scattered throughout this area. The work began when a young man asked someone to visit his father, and Pastor Junior did. This farmer graciously opened his farm and his primitive house. Everything is done here by hand. There's no electricity or phones. It's like going back in time 60 years. Everything you see is handmade. The handmade oven, the carts, and the yoke for the oxen. El Bosque Bible Club has about 20 to 25 children coming to it now. Pastor Junior's wife, Johanna, works with the children. The adults separate into another group, and they and the smaller children are led by Pastor Junior. You can see there are men and women with their babies. You can see the men and women by the house, and then the children out under the shade that has been built. Many of the people are picked up by Pastor Junior on his way down the long dirt road. You can see how crowded his little truck is. There were 4 adults and 6 children absent today. The rainy season begins in May, and Pastor Junior will be building a cover for the back of his truck, thanks to a generous donation from one of the members of Southview Baptist Church. It was very much appreciated. Another work that they have is Iglesia Bautista Nueva Vida, New Life Baptist Church in Ticuan Tepe. It is a feeding center in conjunction with a church plant. Some of the streets surrounding it are paved and some are not. It is already showing growth. A young couple, Alex and Marjorie, help in the ministry, and are being discipled by Pastor Jason. They have experience as Awana leaders and had built a club with 80 children. Their experience is very valuable to the work. On Wednesdays, they have a Bible club from 12 to 2. After Marjorie prepares lunch, she goes out front to listen to memory verses. She records those before the kids come in to eat their lunch. After lunch, there are dishes to wash in the open-air kitchen out back. The children are very excited to be there, and they get a meal that will probably be their best all week. It consists of rice, beans, chicken, and a piece of tortilla. Afterwards, the children throw away their trash and are ready for their club activities. Since the leaders of all the Bible clubs plan together every Friday, they all do the same thing. Since each club is on a different day, they can share the materials. Singing is their favorite time. After the Bible story, we all help with their written activities. The newest work is Iglesia Bautista of Nejapa. It's a struggling work which they have recently adopted. It is very close to Managua. This is looking out from the church courtyard. One family hires a moto to bring them to church. It costs about a quarter to 50 cents. The courtyard has open-air Sunday school rooms along one side and a baptistry in one corner. There are about 25 people that are starting to attend. This was a large work with an Awana club with 80 kids. It was abandoned by its missionary and the national pastor. Pastor Jason has plans to disciple Chewy and his wife Lizette to help with the work. Chewy is Cheppy's twin brother, and here he gives his testimony. Pray for the Rogers as their son Jaron and his wife Nikki and daughter Noelia join them in April. The Rogers' daughter, Lindsay, lives in Springfield, Missouri, but she comes down and helps them some. Please keep this growing ministry in your prayers.